Nancy has achieved a 30-year-plus legacy in rock and roll and created the platform for contemporary rebel chicks like Alanis Morissette, Sheryl Crow, Deborah Harry, and many more. Songs like So Long Babe, How Does That Grab You, Darlin', These Boots Are Made for Walkin', helped Nancy change forever the image of women in rock. Indeed, Boots went to #1, Sugartown #4, How Does That Grab You #7, perpetuated the theme of independence and free thinking that appealed to young women as well as men. Nancy recorded the title song for the James Bond movie, You Only Live Twice. Remember that? Which became an anthem for many who still request it whenever she performs today. Her legendary #1 record with her father, Something Stupid, is always on the best of lists, as are many of her duets with her producer, Lee Hazelwood. Jackson, Some Velvet Morning, Sand, Summer Wine. I play Summer Wine a lot, too. In the liner notes of Nancy's Sugar album, Lee Hazelwood tried to explain the dichotomy of the woman-child figure that seemed to capture so many hearts. He's called her a girl and a woman who is quiet and noisy, square and hip. That's quite a combination. The core of her band, some of whom still perform with her, that's amazing enough, huh, was the world-famous Wrecking Crew, LA's finest rhythm section, who also worked with the Beach Boys, the Righteous Brothers, and Phil Spector. Other producers, Nancy considers herself very fortunate to have worked with, are Don Costa, Bones House, Snuff Garrett, Charles Cahill, is it? Jimmy Bowen, Tutti Camarada, L. Russell Brown, Billy Strange, Dwayne Eddy. She's written 2 books about her legendary father with the hope of setting the record straight about his life, raised 2 daughters, is very politically active, supports American veterans who are very dear to her since her U.S. tour of Vietnam during the war, which I'll never forget. Coming up in a moment, Nancy Sinatra. You know, I would describe Some Velvet Morning as almost mystical. That's the way it hit me anyway, and hit so much of my audience. Nancy Sinatra, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Art. Hi, everybody.
It's great to have you. You're somewhere, no doubt, in California.
Yes, sir, I am. West L.A., West Los Angeles. It's gorgeous. It was beautiful here today.
You know, that is the way this particular song, Some Velvet Morning, that I just play and play and play. A lot of people in the audience, you know, never heard it before. A lot of younger people never heard the song before, and they just went absolute. I got thousands of emails. Thousands. You know, they all thought
so
it was...
did I. Thanks a lot.
And we just all fell in love. I had Lee Hazelwood on.
I heard that. I wish that... I was laughing when I was listening to the song just now about he must be thrilled because I know that he's getting royalties every time you play that song.
I'm certain he is, yes.
Great.
Anyway, he is named... I forget whether it was a granddaughter, a niece, or something, was named...
granddaughter, yeah.
Your granddaughter, there you are, named Phaedra.
Mm-hmm.
He said Phaedra was a very unlucky Greek goddess, yes?
Yes. Did he tell you what the song means?
Please, no, please.
He never told me. I've never...
Oh, he never told you?
No.
Oh, my. So he just sat and whipped this up, and
I think he was smoking something funny at the time.
You know, there have been a lot of people who have suggested that any number of songs, including Sugartown, for example, are drug references out of the '60s, sort of, you know, slightly hidden, but not that hidden.
Yeah, we used to joke about that Sugartown was his homage to LSD, but I don't know if that's true. You know, he used to put me on a lot, so I don't know.
You know, the way you two sang at the time, I don't think there would be anybody who would not imagine, you know, these two must be in love. Either that or you just did a hell of a job of sounding that way.
Yeah, it was a very sexy combination.
Yeah.
And the old guy and the little girl, you know, it just worked. And he wasn't old at the time, and I was not little at the time, but we sounded like that. So it worked very well. We got lucky. He recorded with other women, but he and I were the only ones to come up with the hit versions of those songs that he did.
By the way, did you know that U2 has just done a remake of Some Velvet Morning?
I heard that with the Corrs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Irish, wonderful Irish musicians.
Incredible. So it's obviously recognized as something incredibly classic. In fact, in a lot of ways now, Some Velvet Morning, as I played it, has received more attention than when it actually was released. In fact, all of your music just comes back, so it's like fall in love all over again.
Thank you. You know what part of it is that the arrangements were classic. They just never go out of style.
That's right.
Beautiful, lush arrangements. Billy Strange did most of them. And some of them in the second collection, Nancy and Lee's second album, were written by a guy named Larry Mahobarak. Great name, huh?
Yeah, great name.
Larry Mahobarak.
You're right. They never go away. In other words, there are a lot of songs from the 50s and 60s, and you play them now, and, oh, that sounds old. Just... But your songs, no, they never sound old.
Well, I got lucky. I hooked up with two brilliant people, Lee and Billy. And then, of course, in the booth we had an engineer named Eddie Brackett who was superb. So it was a good team, a very good team, and it happens maybe, if you're lucky, once in your life.
Yeah, and you know it when it's happening. Mm-hmm. You can feel it. It's just like you're on. Oh man, it's just happening, and you can feel it deep in your bones, and you know it's happening, and it's right.
I felt like that with a couple of the things we did for the new album, which when we were in the studio, the magic was there. The new tracks, when we did Hotel California and 99 Miles from L.A., I got the same goosebumps. You know, where the hair on your neck stands up.
California Girls, a CD, right?
The CD, yes, it's called California Girl, based on the Brian Wilson California Girls song, and Brian sings on that with me. I felt like I was singing with the Beach Boys. You know, he did like 6 parts, and Jeffrey Foskett, with whom he tours a lot now, does that real high voice. Jeffrey sang 3 times. It was just a huge vocal group. It's wonderful. I just love it.
So California Girl is just released, right?
It's coming out tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow. How are things in California, San Fernando Valley, 99 miles from L.A., California Girls, hello. L.A., bye-bye, Birmingham, California Dreamin'. Oh, California Dreamin'.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's also a Billy Strange arrangement. Super pretty arrangement.
Route 66, San Francisco. Do you know the way to San Jose? Array for Hollywood, Saturday in the Park, California Man, Hotel California. Oh my gosh, Nancy, you are when one looks at you, and I'm looking at one of your publicity pictures. You are California Girl, aren't you?
Yeah, born in New Jersey, but you know, California since I was 4. There's still a lot of New York in me though, because you know I go there several times a year.
I know, but to look at you is like California written all over you.
The surfer girl, yeah. The sun and the blonde streaked hair. And, yeah, it's pretty typical, I guess. We never grow up out here.
Well, that's a good thing. You did a big USO tour in Vietnam, huh?
Yeah, but you were there doing all the fighting, huh?
Yeah, I was there.
Where were you?
I was TDY to Da Nang from. I was a medic in the Air Force, by the way, and TDY to Da Nang and some other rather exotic locations from Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines when everything went to hell, and they started bringing casualties direct to Clark, which turned out to be a politically difficult thing because you know, people weren't getting treatment. Flying all the way to the U.S., so they diverted them quickly to Clark, and I TDY'd first to Clark, and then on down. So, you know,
it's a beautiful country, though, Vietnam. Do you remember anything pretty about it at all?
Oh my God, yes, of course. I remember. It's astounding. In fact, 2 or 3 years ago, when I went back to the Orient, Nancy, I came within hair's breadth. I asked my wife, and I debated with myself. I flew right over the Mekong and looked down on my way to Bangkok, and I said, "Oh my God, maybe I've got to go." And I debated with myself, and I didn't. So one of these years, I'm going back.
Well, let me know when you go. Maybe we'll put a group of us together and do it.
So, you know, while others were over there doing other things, you were over there serving your country. How was that? How was the whole tour for you? I mean,
it was very emotional. You know, I was very young and I was scared, and they had me flying in every possible type of aircraft.
Yeah,
and
of course.
the guys would give up their seats on a helicopter and let us move forward to the next show, you know. We were just a little group. We were 6 of us, and then one plus one, my escort officer, Frank Lavolsi. He was a captain in the 11th Cavalry, you know, the tankers.
Sure. You can't know how important that is.
The 11th Cavalry, you mean?
No. I mean what you did. I mean what it does for morale. I mean, you just can't believe what it does for morale.
Yeah, I believe it, and it was important to me to help out. My whole generation was involved in one way or another. You know, either running off to Canada to hide, or being drafted, or joining up.
One of the above. Yeah, that's right. There was no middle ground then, was there? It was a very different time, wasn't it?
It was horrendous. Just awful. And that scoreboard on TV every night.
Yeah.
How many we lost and how many they lost, and you know, it was just horrible.
Well, anyway, you were a mighty bright spot in the middle of all of that, and then all these years, and then boom, here's another CD. I mean, here we are, the night before the CD is going to get released. That's
well, it's called survival art. Listen, you're doing it too, you know.
That's true. That's true. I am. And but it's also love, isn't it? I mean, it's not just it's not just survival. That's part of it, I guess. But it's in your blood, Nancy. This business, this whole show business thing, it can't be that different with what you do. It's in your blood.
I love music. There's no doubt about it. You know, my first love, of course, are my children. But you know, that's the priority one. But after children and family is definitely music.
No, well, it's something that gets in your blood. And then if you don't do it for a long time, it begins nagging at you and biting at you. And you say to yourself, I know I can still do that.
Mm-hmm.
Something
well,
like that.
actually, in my case, it was my friend who, actually, I didn't know him at the time. He sent me a fax. He was at Rhino Records, and he said, I think you should get back to work because there are a lot of us who really enjoy what you do.
And how long did you sit around and think about that before you called?
I sat around a little bit about it because it was a little bit crazy. He said he'd have everybody there at Rhino wearing white go-go boots. You know, he scared me, so I didn't know what to think. But he's a good friend of mine now. This is 8 years later. His name is Hal Lifson, and Hal actually helped bring this California album about. Plus, he got all of my old albums released on CD, which had never happened before. But I have enough material, or you wouldn't believe it, I have enough songs for another 8 or 10 CDs. The people don't even know about these songs. They're, you know.
Oh my! Recorded at what?
Starting in the '60s, but through the '70s.
So you never stopped?
Well, the last album I did before raising my kids was an album with Mel Tillis. And I thought it was a real good album, but they've never put that out again. It was on Elektra Records. And if I owned it, I would certainly make sure it was released again, because I just love Mel. He's great, and the songs are gorgeous. You know, it's a little more country than what I usually do, but it's a really good album. Then my husband died in 1985, so I didn't want my kids to feel, they were only 9 and 11. I didn't want them to feel like they had no parents at all. So I just stopped. And then when I got the fax from Hal, it was 1994 or into early 95, And then coincidentally ran into a guy named Ray Ruff, a record producer, who said, I want to record you for my new Cougar Records label. I said, okay, great, let's do it. So we did an album called One More Time, which again was more country-based than a lot of the stuff I was doing.
Well, that's okay. I can see you could do that easily.
Country is great. It's very cool stuff. You get to express yourself a lot better. And you get to sing more. Rock, you don't sing as much. You kind of talk-sing a little.
Huh.
But,
how many, with most of these records, how many takes does it usually take to get it done? Does it ever just pop out the first time and everybody says, okay, let's go?
That happened on this album, on California Man, and Cuando Calienta el Sol, both of them. We did them live. I was in the booth with the engineer, and the band was in the studio. And that's not a good way to record a vocal because you pick up all of the sounds in the booth,
right,
of the work that's going on there. But the vocals were good, and we didn't want to mess them up, so we just left them the way they were. They sound a little bit different, from the rest of the vocals.
In other words, don't fix something that's not broken.
That's right, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. There seemed to be, maybe it was love, maybe, I don't know what it was, but there's a spiritual component to an awful lot of what you sang, too, isn't there?
Yeah, well, it's a spiritual and enlightening and humbling experience to be in that kind of creative setting. A recording studio is much more instantaneous. It's not like making a movie where you don't see the real film. You can see it on the videotape, but you don't see the real film for a while till the lab is through with it. With a record, you play it back immediately, and
that's right.
It's just right there. And it's a very sexy place to be. A recording studio is probably one of the greatest places to be ever.
So that puts you in a good mood right away, just being there.
Right away.
Right away. All right.
Absolutely.
Hold on. We're here at the bottom of the hour. Nancy Sinatra's new CD is California Girl. One of the songs is California Dream. And that song, I was working for IT&T in Nutley, New Jersey, one day waiting for a bus, and it was snowing. It was cold as hell in New Jersey and snowing, and I heard California Dream, and I, real young at the time, I said, the hell with this. And I quit, and I went to California. That song actually took me to California. Nancy, welcome back.
Thank you.
The Boots song, Nancy, these boots are made for walking. When the whole Waco siege was going on, and the FBI was playing that to the Koresh compound, that one must have really caught you by surprise.
Well, people asked me about it at the time, and all I could say was I wish it had worked.
That's a good point, yeah.
I think they were using irritating music over and over again to try to get them to leave. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's not irritating music. Irritating music, they played for the last South American dictator, blew them out with rabbits dying and all that kind of stuff. Yours was not, that was like a foreshadow of things to come. As you listen to the rest of that record, it's kind of meaningful to what finally occurred in that situation, isn't it?
You mean lyrically?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
There were two bass players on that session.
Really?
Carol Kay did the electric bass. She used a pick, which gives it that kind of popping sound, and then Chuck Berghofer did the upright bass, which does that beautiful quarter tone line down.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, very cool.
I guess I've got to ask you. You know what? First, I'll ask you for your children, Nancy. What's it like being the child of Nancy Sinatra? How is it for them? It's tough, isn't it?
Well, I think they wish I wouldn't do certain things. I think they're very patient and adorable with me about it. My daughter AJ, who lives in Hoboken. By the way, she's singing the national anthem on Wednesday at Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
For Frank Sinatra Day.
Wow.
And my sister's leaving tomorrow for New York. She's going to throw out the first ball. it's a big family celebration there. I have to be here because I'm getting ready to do my shows down in the desert. We have a lot of stuff coming up. Anyway, so AJ's flying in. My daughter Amanda lives here with her husband, and we are going down to Palm Springs because they're giving me a star on the Walk of Stars down there on May 9th.
Yay!
Yay, yeah.
Well, you were immortal a long time before that appears, but
well, that's sweet. But it's going to be a fun 2 days because Tom Jones is working that night, May 9th, at the spa in Palm Springs. And then the next night, we do our show at the same venue. So it's a nice hotel casino, so it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I live out here in the desert, so not very far away. We're kind of like Palm Springs here. It's a beautiful place. So how was it being the daughter of Frank Sinatra? I mean, can you see the parallel? What I wanted to ask is, can you see the parallels now in your children with your experience, being the daughter of Frank?
I think I do in some ways. I think being a famous man's daughter is different from being a famous woman's daughter.
Really?
But my kids have the double whammy of the famous grandfather.
That's true.
And then the celebrity mom. So it's and celebrity uncle. They're surrounded, but only one of them got the music bug, and that's my AJ. She's a singer.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's great, and I'll tell you why. She went and got a college education. She's a screenwriting student from the USC Film School, and she's a college grad, and she's got that career if she wants it.
Well, did there come a moment when you sat her down and said, okay, if you're going this way, then here's what you're in for?
No, I think she pretty much saw that along the road with her mom, I think she's seen all that for herself, but no, I don't really give a lot of advice. My kids are pretty much their own people, unless they ask me. I don't really discuss it. But I remember trying to involve myself in my dad's work, and occasionally recommending something that he would agree to do, which always thrilled me. And when they suggest something to me, I see the same joy in their eyes when I say, well, great idea, I think I'll try that, It's like any other business. I call it our family farm. We farm it. We farm it just like anybody else does with the products,
So how was it being Frank Sinatra's daughter? Was that rough?
No, God, no, not at all.
No?
It's great.
You wrote 2 books about your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Sinatra and American
Legend. Yeah, I got
Legend.
sick of reading all the garbage.
Frank Sinatra, My Father. Well, there was a lot of garbage. I mean, to this day, I think most American people think that your dad had lots of old mob connections, mobbed up, that kind of thing.
Well, a lot of American people are naive. I think that if they would think about it for 5 minutes, they'd realize that the people who ran the nightclubs in New York were just carryovers from the bootleggers.
Yep.
And those people who ran those clubs hired people like my father and Danny Thomas and Alan King and Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. All of the entertainers worked for those guys. And when those guys moved west out to Las Vegas, the entertainers moved with them. And they were friendly because they worked for these people.
So the appearance of connection was completely unavoidable.
Well, I guess because my dad's name ended in a vowel, he was more associated with it than the other guys. But Red Skelton was one. I mean, it's all in the book. Danny Thomas complained a lot about the fact that my dad kept getting singled out. But J. Edgar Hoover hated my father because my father wielded a lot of power with Democratic voters, and he was a Roosevelt supporter.
Oh, I know.
And so the Republicans and especially the Hearst Syndicate went after my dad. and tried to discredit him in any way they could. So there was a big FBI file on my dad from 1939 forward. And
do you remember surveillance?
No, but I did hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't personally remember.
Yeah. So I own a radio station out here. My wife and I own a FM radio station, and your dad's music and your music is all over it. Your dad will live forever, just like you will.
No, thank you, but I don't think it's that simple. It's very sweet of you to say that, but it's tough. We keep trying to come up with the right packaging to entice a new generation of people to become Frank Sinatra listeners, and it's not that easy. You know, it's pretty hard. Because the public is, young people, the young public, they're very discerning, and they want what they want. And people like Robbie Williams, who has now re-recorded Something Stupid with Nicole Kidman, he helps. The fact that we worked with him and let him use, it was a very good year, that helps us.
What an incredible record.
Yeah.
To me, that's right up there with A Wonderful Life, or A Wonderful World. It's A Wonderful World. It's just...
Very good year?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God, what a record.
Absolutely. I can't remember who wrote that song right now.
Really?
I hate not knowing that.
It was just... It's another sort of... It takes you off into a different place kind of song, like some of that which you did. It just sort of takes you... that's what music does. It takes you off to a different place. Do you have comments on today's music? I mean, all the music you produced, gosh, you know, you can sing, you can tap your foot. It's real music. It has a melody. You can actually understand the words, even if at times perhaps not what they mean. You can understand every word sung. Now, today, and I'm sure it's my age, and I'll be 57 in June, I really have a difficult time with about 90% of today's music. How about you?
I can identify with a lot of it. I do enjoy some of the acts today, like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I think wonderful, wonderful musicians, and I appreciate the almost like the MGM studio system that cranks these groups out. You know, I think it's great that they have all of this preparation. I just wish, in my heart of hearts, that the music was better.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. Do you think that the pendulum will swing? Is it not inevitable, or is that just wishful thinking on the part of those who remember well? Won't it come back the other way?
I don't know, Art, because I don't think we have the sophistication in the writing that we did in the 30s and 40s. The Great American Songbook is just unapproachable. I don't think we can match it anymore. And I mean, are we going to have a Great American Songbook from this century? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
You know, we do have Carole King, and we have Billy Joel. We have some Neil Diamond. We have some writers who come close to creating another Great American Songbook, but
they're getting older.
Well, it isn't so much that. It's that the young people are not singing their songs. You know, the Britney Spears of the world, they need to pick up on some of these really good writers and maybe carry their music forward. I don't know. I shouldn't lecture because I haven't had a hit record in 100 years.
Yeah, but that just is maybe a reflection of the change, which I don't particularly appreciate. I know a lot of other people don't too. I just wonder if it can come back. I hope it can come back. But maybe you're right. Maybe it's gone too far and people have forgotten too much. I
don't know. I just don't know. As long as we have people like Robbie Williams, who's very young, I believe he's 27, reaching back and bringing these songs forward, we'll be okay. Because Robbie is, I think, the biggest star in England.
There were a lot of years in rock when women just weren't making it. I mean, they just weren't happening, whether it's singles or groups or whatever.
You mean white women?
Yeah, white women. That's right. That's right. How did that change?
It changed radically just before Women's Lib, with people like Lee Hazelwood writing great lyrics. And that was before Helen Reddy's I Am Woman.
Yeah, that was a pretty heavy-duty glass ceiling, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Phil Spector was producing records with a lot of African-American women that were absolutely fabulous. And like He's a Rebel was a great record. And that stuff, you know, that preceded what I did. And that was very influential for me. I loved the R&B stuff, and I loved people like Ruth Brown. And I can't remember now. It's a senior moment, but there were many that I just loved and idolized. So that, you know, but I sounded like that, and I had that little high, funny voice. And until Lee came along and said, you know, let's drop this down a bit and let's get a little funky here.
Yeah, well, he sure did that, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he knew what to do. He was right.
He's quite some guy, isn't he? He's kind of a crusty old, interesting guy to talk to.
Yeah, isn't he?
Yeah, that's how he struck me. Kind of a crusty old, tell it like it is. Here's how it happened kind of guy. He was.
Well, don't think he doesn't embellish. Believe me, he does.
Do you remain in contact with him?
We lose each other for a year or two at a time, but we always find each other again. I think we spoke a few weeks ago. We were on the phone for over an hour, just getting caught up.
Wow. How does it feel to be on the eve of the release of California Girl?
I'm so excited. This is the best work I've done in a long time, and I can't wait for you to latch on to something you like in that album.
Oh, I will.
I think if you like California Dreamin', what you need to do is cue it up after the long intro because it's pretty long.
Right. California Dreamin', I said that at the bottom of the hour. That song actually caused me to walk out of a phone booth in the middle of a snowstorm and say, the hell with New Jersey. And I packed up and quit my job and went to California.
Well, that's great. That's great. I wish I'd known we could have put it in the liner notes.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, I was, you know, you're young and you're kind of crazy, and you look around yourself, and I was in actually Newark waiting for a bus to take me to IT&T in Nutley, New Jersey, where I was working. And I looked at the snow, and I listened to California Dreamin', looked at the snow, and I listened to California Dreamin'. I got out of the phone booth, went home, packed up, and left.
I'm out of here.
It was, you know, it was that kind of era, really.
Yeah, the Mamas and the Papas. They did a different. Our version is much different from theirs.
Well, yes, different, but it's still California Dreamin', though.
Yeah, but it's much more romantic and introspective.
Yes, which is romantic and introspective. That's how you hit it in the first place, isn't it? I mean, that really is what these are all about, romantic and introspective, a lot of them.
The stuff you love so much, the Nancy and Lee stuff,
yeah.
We're going to put that out again. It's not available anymore unless you get lucky and find one straggly CD.
That's right.
But we're going to put that out again, hopefully next year, and it will be all of the recorded material. It will be 2 albums in one CD, or 2 CDs rather, in one box. And I
can tell you it's going to be a hit, Nancy. I mean, anytime I start playing a song and I get thousands of emails about it. Oh my God, what is that? It's, you know, people hearing it for the first time and totally falling in love. So anytime you get that kind of response, I can guarantee a re-release is going to be a big hit.
Well, maybe they'll feel that way about 99 Miles.
Yeah?
You know, I'm going to keep a positive attitude.
So, for the release, are you doing anything special? You've got.
Yeah, we got that Star happening in Palm Springs, and then the show at the Spa the next night on May 10th, and then we have Amoeba Records here on May 16th. That's going to be a mini concert and a signing where I'll sign pictures and CDs and stuff. And then the Knitting Factory is also here in Hollywood on May 16th. That's going to be fun. That's with the Ventures.
Yeah, the Ventures.
Yeah.
Aye.
And
when you do a show, do you mix the old and the new?
Yeah. Yeah, I have to do the old because they would throw rocks at me if I didn't, and the new stuff, you know, I have to do because otherwise I'd just be bored to tears.
Of course.
And then in New York, we're doing 4 shows at the Bottom Line on May 31st and June 1st, and I have something funny to tell you about that. I just got an invitation in the mail today from Liza. Her big show in New York is, guess what date?
You're going...
May 31st.
Is it really?
So I wrote I put a Post-it on it for my assistant, Bill. I said, there goes the audience at the Bottom Line. They're all going to be at Liza's show. So
you're going to do it. You're going to do Liza.
No.
No, you're not going to do Liza.
No, I have to do my show on 2 shows on the 31st.
As we all get older, doing shows is a little tougher than it used to be, or is it once you're up there and magic starts, it becomes easy?
Yeah, it's the hard part is it takes longer to get ready now.
Yeah, that's right.
With the makeup and the hair and what to wear, because you know, at my age, still doing rock and roll, who the hell knows what to wear? I don't know what to wear. People expect boots and miniskirts, but you know, come on, I don't do that anymore. I mean, I do for an occasional show, but I just feel so stupid, foolish. So,
well, it doesn't look that way, though.
Well, thank you. It does. It looks that way, but, you know, you do the best you can with what you got, you know.
All right, look, I will start playing from California Girl. I wish you all the luck. We're out of time in this hour. They go very, very, very quickly. It's going to be a hit. Don't worry, Nancy.
Well, Art, I appreciate all you've done for Lee and me. I really do. It's very important to us to have someone as supportive as you are out there, and we really appreciate it.
Easy to do. I love your music. Nancy, thank you.
Take care.
Good night.